All right, guys, today I'm going to talk about how to be an LP provider, okay? That's a liquidity pool provider, in case you didn't know, and how you can earn fees by providing liquidity to various pools, okay? I know, it's real simple. Now, I'm going to use, in this example, SushiSwap. You can replace this with Uniswap. It works basically the exact same. I just want some sushi right now. Actually, I'm in the mood for seafood, not specifically sushi, but got sushi on the mind. So, we talking sushi. All right, so if you go to like SushiSwap.com, you'll find they've got a whole bunch of different things up there. But if you click on the pools section, you can go down there and you can see all the different pools, different things they've got in there. And you can actually sort them based on various characteristics and search for certain tokens. You can also look at it based on APR. Now, that APR is the rewards you're getting on depositing in these pools. Now, you can actually get a really good amount on some of these, but you need to be careful. Now, I'm going to go a little bit more in detail on how SushiSwap works, because honestly, I think it's pretty neat, even if they are mostly just a fork of Uniswap, or at least that's how they started. But before I do that, let me tell you a little bit of the history of SushiSwap. See, a lot of people don't know this, but way back in the day, after they were wildly successful and had a tremendous amount of money go into their system, their founder had a bunch of sushi tokens, the token of SushiSwap. And so they had those in a liquidity pool with Ethereum. Now, the problem is they had a ton of it in there. And one day, the guy behind it said, you know what? I'm cashing out. I'm done. This is cool. I'm out. And so he sold all of the sushi that they have for Ethereum. It was a huge problem because it tanked the price of sushi. And he took basically all the Ethereum in the pool out by swapping all of his sushi for it, making sushi worth very little for a while. And it made everybody mad because while it may not have technically been a rug pull, it sure felt like a full-on rug pull. Now, the guy who was behind this, his nom de guerre, or his alias as it is, was Chef Nomi. Now, the chef had worked hard and made this thing like kind of work, and they had a thing called a vampire attack on Uniswap. It's basically where you go over there and you try and drain liquidity from them by offering crazy rewards. Some of these rewards were in the thousands of % initially. Now, this is really short term. These rewards do not last in the long term, but during a vampire attack, you can oftentimes find really high rewards. In fact, you can go see DM right now, some of their pools on SushiSwap. They have ridiculous APYs. I'm talking like several 100%. I think a couple of them even have over 1,000%. That's insane. You're like multiplying your money every few days. Now, will these keep up forever? No. But a couple of these have a few weeks left on them. So like you can double and triple your money potentially on that, which is just crazy with stable coins. But that's what happens during a vampire attack. During a good vampire attack, you'll see insane rewards. Rewards that just do not look real. But you know what? They are real because they want to incentivize those tokens and that liquidity to come over to their platform. Because in the long term, it'll be worth it. But they got to get the good liquidity now so that everybody else will feel good about coming into their platform. And so they're willing to pay through the nose for it. And this is a pretty standard tactic, but it's one that SushiSwap did exceptionally well. They brought in a ton of liquidity. And as a result, all that sushi that the chef had was worth a lot of money. If I remember correctly, it was worth over $13 million at the time. And now that Ethereum's went up quite a bit, it would be worth way more. But we're going to use the numbers from back then. But it would be conservatively worth hundreds of millions right now. Now, the thing is, the chef, he actually didn't mean to damage the protocol. He was genuinely just like, cool, I guess I'm retiring. I'm out. I'm not really looking to keep going. I'm tired. It's a lot of work doing some of these things. And so he thought he was actually just retired. But what he didn't realize is when he was pulling out like that, it was destroying the value of sushi for a while. And so he came back in and he actually did the right thing. He put it back. He put almost every bit of it back, and then he handed control over to another person. Now, alas, he didn't actually have the best judge of character because he handed control of SushiSwap over to Sam Bankman-Fried. If you haven't heard of him, man, what a lucky duck you are. he has messed up a lot of stuff. We'll actually maybe do a video on some of their stuff later, but suffice to say, he's not a good person. Luckily, control has been passed on from him to another person since then, long past. And now it's actually in good hands. Good people are working on it. I have no problems really with SushiSwap at this point. They're good. It's not a problem. But at the time, it's funny to look back on it. But anyway, so SushiSwap, you can go in there and you can deposit various tokens. I prefer stablecoins, but I'm just a stablecoin boring banker guy. I mean, of course, you can also put Ethereum with stuff. And honestly, if you want that perfect mix, I think, between the safety of stablecoins, but the yield of DeFi, maybe get some Ethereum or wrapped Ethereum or wrapped staked Ethereum of various kinds and pull that with a stablecoin. I like oftentimes those pools with DM because they're getting stupid high rewards, and Ethereum or staked Ethereum and stuff because, I mean, native yield with wrapped staked Ethereum plus the incentives that are coming in because you got DM in here, it makes a very juicy pairing, even if there is impermanent loss potential on that. It's one of the few pools that I actually do endorse. That said, be careful on SushiSwap. If you have two assets in there, like say Bitcoin and Ethereum, or random meme token you've never heard of in Ethereum, first off, don't use the random meme tokens ever. But in this case, for example purposes, while Ethereum's going up and meme coin's going down, y'all losing a ton of money because of impermanent loss and the loss on that meme token as well. So don't do that. Try and keep assets that are relatively similar. A lot of people like Bitcoin and Ethereum because they oftentimes go pretty similar together. Maybe not one for one, but when one's rising, the other tends to rise too, with a pretty good correlation. This is something that minimizes impermanent loss with assets that are obviously not stable relative to each other. And this is something people sometimes pair with a stable coin to help further dampen the volatility. I still am not a huge fan of this, but it has worked for people, and some people do have a pretty good positive return over it. Be careful doing things like this. Please try and have a stable asset as at least one of the sides of the pool. But SushiSwap's really awesome. So you can go in these pools, and as people go back and forth trading their assets between them, fees are collected. Now, these fees aren't terribly high, but the amount of transactions is crazy. Sometimes the entire value of the pool will be swapped back and forth 4 or 5 times in a day. That's a lot of trading volume. And sometimes even more than that. Now, not every pool's this hot, and oftentimes when they're this hot, they can't stay that hot for that long. People will put more money in there because the trading fees are really, really high when there's a whole lot of volume relative to the amount of money in there. So, how do you get yourself a nice juicy cut of these fees? Obviously, you can deposit and earn from the liquidity pool because you get half of the fees. But with SushiSwap, sushi holders get part of the fees too. You see, you can take your sushi tokens, lock it up, and get what's called X-Sushi tokens. Not only does it let you vote on how the protocol changes over time, but you also get additional rewards in sushi based on the amount of fees and stuff generated by the protocol. Because it goes and it takes those fees and buys more sushi to give to you, further increasing the price of sushi. Now, would you rather get some of the token fees that are just generated in their native yield? I know I sure might, but sushi's not too bad. If you want to really earn on some of these pools, sometimes something cool you can do is you can provide liquidity. You're getting the fees on that side. And then if you also own X-Sushi, you're getting fees on both ends of this. It's fantastic. Now, if you have the right pool, the fees are always going to be higher on that pool because you're optimizing for fees. But go through there, look, check out the tokens. There's several DM pairs that seriously, guys, you should go look at. They are bananas. And honestly, if in the next week you guys haven't lapped up all that, I am doing it. So full disclosure, you got like a week to dilute that yield a little bit, or I'm just going to get it because, it's too much to leave on the table. It's fantastic. But that's been SushiSwap for you. And they're actually working on rolling out a borrowing and lending facility and a few other things in the future. If you want to learn about those, talk about it in the comments. I can do a video on it. Let's do it. Tell me what you want to know, and we'll talk about it over some sushi. I'll catch you guys next time.